Self-interest, of course, this is the most contentious issues probably in the debate, but of course Islamic moral economy does not reject the self-interest issue. Individuals, that's the nature of individual, but containing that, the filtering that is an important aspect. So self-interest has to be linked to the overall concept of good and justice, so social justice. How you can overcome that, of course, is the major problem. And that is probably Islamic finance. Having the Islamic finance as it is with my assumption, it says that probably we have failed in terms of responding or establishing harmony between self-interest and the social interest. Adam Smith, of course, was not suggesting self-interest to be hegemonic, but was asking that individual self-interest will lead to social justice in the end. But of course, that's the failure of capitalism. It seems that we are going through the same issue. Of course, private property, private enterprise are essential elements of this moral economy. But again, perceiving the wealth, private property as amana, as trust from God, and hence establishing that connection, not necessarily the hegemonic power over wealth, but considering that as an amana, as a trust for individuals, and hence respecting that way. Again, the environmental issues, how it is important, is a product of that concept of amana. Market mechanism, of course, Islamic moral economy doesn't have any problem with market economy. It is essential part, but the important issue is cooperation and competition. So it is not only competition, but cooperation. I know that all this sounds very aspirational, very utopic, but you need to have the utopias in order to engineer the societies, and that is the reality that we have. Again, market mechanism is essential. It is the fundamental pillar, but moral filter system is an essential element of that. And historically, Muslim world responded to the problems of market system by creating the necessary institution, like HISPA, for instance, one of the regulatory institution created historically to respond to the excesses or moderating the excesses of the market system as an important concept. So historically, there are examples where market probably can be readjusted to serve for social justice. And hence, one way or another, we have a different value system here, and that different value system being, of course, emanating from Islam, creates its own moral economy, being the Islamic moral economy. Individual liberty is an essential part of that, freedom of choice, private property and enterprise, the profit motive, and the possibilities of unlimited effort and reward. But of course, within that moral economy framework, accepting the social justice is an important aspect of this moral economy. And just summarizing all this through the words of Ibn Khaldun, the 15th century great scholar of Islam, who is considered as a father of modern sociology even, when he stated the strength of the sovereign does not become consumed except by implementation of Sharia. He was referring to the legal norms. The Sharia cannot be implemented except by sovereign, and hence the selection of the sovereign. The sovereign cannot gain strength except through a people, and hence nature of the democratic process. The people cannot be sustained except by wealth. So wealth development is an important aspect. Wealth, however, it says, cannot be acquired except through development. Hence, development is an essential element of contributing to human well-being. And development cannot be attained except through justice. And this is what we have nowadays. Even IMF, even World Bank refers to the same issues, the failure in distribution of wealth, distribution of income, and etc., globally as well as in nation state. And justice, Ibn Khaldun says, is the criterion through which God will evaluate human beings and enhance the spiritual accountability, which of course is an essential element of this moral economy.